Sanctioned 6 Nigerian cyber fraudsters for conducting an elaborate online scheme to steal more than $6 million from victims across the United States. U.S. Secretary of State Michael Pompeo disclosed this in a statement published on the Department of State's website. And the perpetrators targeted U.S. businesses and individuals through deceptive global threats known as business email compromise and romance fraud to gain access to their sensitive information and financial resources. And the U.S. says it will continue to use all the tools at its disposal to defend the American people from cyber-enabled actors who prey on vulnerable Americans and businesses. Joining me now is Cybersecurity Assurance Manager Olatunji Igbalajobi. Olatunji, good morning. It's good to have you join me now. Now, run us through, give us an overview, basically. The cyberspace is another world of its own altogether, different from the physical space that we are used to. Talk to us about how challenging it is to monitor the cyberspace where people conduct all sorts of fraudulent activity without being noticed for a period of time.
Well, thank you. The advent of the outbreak of pandemic has actually, skyrocketed an exponential increase in the usage of internet for financial transaction, and that also has its own implication on the numbers of cyber attacks that that has been carried out within this period of outbreak. Because the internet space, the cyberspace now is so robust, and a lot of organizations, a lot of individuals will now resort to using the internet, to even stay alive, during this course of this pandemic. So that also, gives cyber actors, the cyber threat actors, the opportunity to, capitalize on a vulnerable individual who are not so aware about, basic security best practice and, to carry out malicious, activities.
Now, can you, as a way of enlightening Nigerians and even those who are watching from anywhere in the world, can you walk us through how this business email compromise, how it works? When they reach out to anyone and anyone falls victim, what should people be looking out for? How does this work? Can you run us through that?
Well, business email scam is a very sophisticated, advanced APT. We call it APT. It's a very big APT, very active APT. APT is an advanced persistent threat. It's a collaborative effort of different software, different machines, different coordinated skills that is being used to carry it out. Most of the time, it could come in form of employment, and for the incidents that was being reported in the United States, most of it were just filing, COVID-19 palliative filing, employment filing, loss of job filing, So actors are able to understand that, a lot of people will be filing now, especially for the United States, and because they have been able to steal what we call PII, personally identifiable information of some individual, and they were able to actually make use of that to actually do some filing on their behalf and route the money to, another financial platform. Basically, sometimes it also comes in form of phishing method, when people send you maybe an employment opportunity, download this file, fill it, return the filled form back to us. Once they land on the system, it might have been embedded with the Trojan where sometimes we even, give the attacker a backdoor opportunity. So he could be able to access the system on his own and, even do a lot of stuff without you having an understanding of somebody's even on your system. So it's a coordinated, advanced persistent threat. And people just have to be very careful of the kind of email they received. If you are not receiving any email, you're not expecting any email from someone, you don't just open up an attachment. And sometimes when you also, get an attachment coming in, there are some platforms you can actually upload those files to, to run a scan on them and to validate if that a particular attachment is not going to post as a threat actor on your system. You can make use of virus tutor. You can also check URLs, validate if the URLs are actually, they are not compromised URL. So we just have to stay safe. It is better to be safe than sorry. That is one important principle that we just have to bear in mind.
All right. So for people who have who belong to different social media platforms and who have emails and all of that, what should anyone be looking out for, and how can they prevent against falling victim to all of these? Because there are forms that one feels online sometimes. There are email, the passwords here and there. Talk to us about that, how to be careful.
Yeah, it is called password management. You have to be, be very conversant about, your platform, your social account. Most important thing is enabling two-factor authentication, something you know and something you have. That also gives, you a level of security, even though it's not foolproof. But when you have two-factor authentication on your system, maybe on your Facebook account, or even on your WhatsApp account, on every of your accounts, you can enable two-factor authentication. So even if somebody wants to log into your system, something prompts you. There's a request that will be made directly to you that the attacker might not be able to have access to that particular information. So two-factor authentication and ensuring that you are using a alphanumeric password, not just a simple password that people can easily guess and make use of. They can actually use some tools to decrypt and get the password. So alphanumeric, ensure that you make use of both the lowercase and the uppercase, and constantly ensure that you change your password. You also go to your security settings. Sometimes you go to your system security settings, your social media account security settings, and actually look at logs of activities on your account. I feel logged into from a different location. Did you visit that particular location? So it's about stop, think, and connect. We have to just be very, very, conscious of how we make use of some of these platforms. As much as they have come to actually, hate business, especially in this period, they also come with their own threats, which we must be aware of.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much, Olatunji Igbalajobi, for your time and insight into all of this. Thank you very much.